All right. Welcome to Yin. All right. So I've got a blanket that I'm sitting on. So we can start there today. And then I think the only prop we're going to use today is a strap or something like a strap. I have my straps are in my car. I was too lazy to go get them. So I'm using a scarf today. So that's what we have. Those two things. And as usual, if you want anything else, you're welcome to use them. All right. Let's take just a few moments and settle into our space this evening. Just make a general sweep of the mind and body and see where you are today. See how everything feels. Can we relax our shoulders a little bit more? Soften our face. Relax our throat. So as we begin our practice, we're going to start with the chant of Om. Then we'll recite our Yin intention. You can repeat it after me, either to yourself or out loud if you'd like. And today we'll lie down to do some breath work and then some gentle movements. So I like to begin practice with my hands at the heart. I'm going to tuck my chin in towards my chest for just a moment and set an intention of your own for class today. So we lift our chin, we'll lift our hearts, and together we'll chant just one Om when you're ready. Deep breath in. And just repeat after me. May I be free from fear and harm. May I be content as I am. May I be at peace with whatever comes. Beautiful. All right. We're going to start on our back. So if you want maybe a blanket over you, I'm going to actually place the blanket underneath my head. It helps with the microphone speaker. But you can always put the blanket over you if you like. So as we lie down, almost like you would for Shavasana. So make yourself really comfortable. And let's have the strap nearby because you're going to use it after we do this little practice with the breath. Okay. So I'm going to stay seated so I can kind of talk you through it just a little bit. So as you're getting comfortable in your space and like relaxing in your back, relaxing your shoulders, and making your head and neck comfortable, we're going to do a little breath practice. So take just a few moments to take some really natural breaths. Maybe inhaling through the nose, maybe exhaling through the mouth a couple of times. So the breath practice is just as important in yin as it is in any other yoga practice. So we're going to practice what we call a square breath. So you can just imagine a square. It's equal on all four sides. So we'll inhale to the count of 4. We'll exhale to the count of 4. Inhale to the count of 4. Exhale to the count of 4. And that will complete your square. So then you just take a moment and you just rest, just a real quick moment. And then you begin it again. And you can visualize the square as you breathe in and breathe out. And I'm using the count of 4. It's a nice even count. Okay, so just whenever you're ready, just follow the breath. And together we'll do a little square breath. The mouth is closed. The eyes are closed or soft. And hopefully we're breathing from the lower diaphragmatic breath. So very low in the lungs. Let's complete this last round. And then just return to a normal, regular, soft breath where you're not thinking about it, it's just comfortable. So this square breath is really good for people who have a tendency to be a little anxious. And it's also good for calming the mind for sleep. So you could do that breath anytime, really, but just kind of keep it in mind for those two reasons. All right, sorry to have to get you to move a little bit, but let's begin a little bit of yin today. So since you're already on your back, just take a moment. Let's draw the knees in towards the chest. And maybe even make some circles with the knees and just making sure that low back feels really comfortable. Good, and go in the opposite direction. Beautiful. All right, let's place our left foot on the mat. We're going to take our strap or whatever you're using for the strap and place it around the right foot so we can extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. Now I'd like it so your shoulders stay relaxed, so don't reach up the strap too much. You want to keep the shoulders, the neck, and the head really relaxed. And we're just going to start to draw this leg towards us until we feel that nice hamstring stretch in the back of the leg. Now, some of you who are really flexible may even want to take this left leg and extend it out onto the mat, if that will give you more stretch. If you have some trouble with your low back, you're going to keep that left foot right where it is on the mat. Good. So taking a few breaths in and out and getting settled in the pose. Notice how it feels for you today. Where there may be challenges where you may be holding. And find your nice full breath. Let's make the pose really still. So that maybe there's some shaking, but it's just because of the energy we're working. But otherwise, we're keeping the pose still, the breath quiet. magic starts to happen in the deep fascia tissue after about the 4-minute mark for most people. So we're going to stay with this just another minute. If you're feeling some discomfort, just breathe if you can and allow it to happen, knowing that it's opening, releasing, letting go of things you no longer need in that deep muscle tissue. So take a nice deep breath. We're going to bend the knee, take the strap, just put it to the side for a moment, and just take a moment, draw the knee in towards the chest, rotate the ankle. Is there any tension that you brought into the ankle or the foot? Hopefully not. So now let's just take a hold of the knee and just open the leg out to the side and make some big circles. So maybe we feel a little popping or movement down into that hip joint. All right, let's bring that foot to the floor. And we'll go ahead and take our main strap here on our left foot and extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. So again, modifying the pose however you need to for your body. But let's again relax our shoulders, relax our neck and head so we're not clenching our jaw or bringing our shoulders up towards our ears, right? We want to keep them soft. So take these first few breaths, find that perfect spot to get your stretch. Breathe into it. Find where the discomfort lies. That's where you want to be in yin, is right in that discomfort. Discomfort that you can tolerate, okay? Good. And then just make the pose still as you breathe and relax. Take another nice long breath. On the exhale, let's bend the knee or remove the strap. As we draw the knee in towards the chest, rotate that ankle, stretch out the foot. And we'll take that left knee, open it out to the side, make some big circles, and notice what's going on in that inner hip. All right. So let's go ahead and stretch this right leg out onto the mat. I'm going to draw that left knee towards me. Just take a few moments here and just settle into the low back. So feel the low back really nice and comfortable into the mat. Relax your feet. You don't have to worry about form, right? So this is just going to be a nice, easy twist. So take your right hand, draw that knee across the body. Now you can settle it somewhere so the foot is on the floor or on your thigh. Maybe the knee settles down all the way to the mat. Maybe you just kind of leave it hanging in the air, or you can support it with bolster or anything else that you need if you'd like. I'm going to take my left arm and just stretch it out to the side, trying to get that left shoulder connected to the floor. Good. So my gaze is up at the ceiling. My neck is comfortable. You can close your eyes if you wish. You can use this right hand to gently push on the top of the leg towards the mat if it feels comfortable for you, or you can just let it hang out wherever it wants to. Good. So once you found your pose there, it won't be as long as the last one. So just breathe into this left side and see what we can find. All right, let's take a nice deep breath in. We'll slowly unwind. Let's bring both feet to the floor. Just check in with our low back. Then when you're ready, we'll extend the left leg out onto the mat. Draw the right knee towards you. Hang out here for a breath or two. And when you're ready to go into the twist, let's draw the knee across the body. Check in with this side. If it feels much more challenging, then you don't have to go very far. Let that foot come to the mat and support you instead, or put a block underneath. Good. And right arm is coming out to the side, and right shoulder is softening into the mat if possible. Good. Nice big breaths into this right side of the body. So all the way from, let's do the knee. Let's think of the breath right around the knee, up through the front of the quadricep, inner groin. And feel the breath massaging the back of the leg and the butt, and just feeling the energy from that center of your butt right there, that big piriformis muscle, all the way up into the center of the armpit. And then maybe you can feel the energy across the front of the chest, pectoral muscles down all the way through the arm and through the fingertips. Let's take a nice deep breath in, work our way back to the center. Let's draw both knees in towards the chest. Open the legs nice and wide and just make some circles with these knees. Outer rotation. So really open them out, back into kiss and then out. And feel the inner groin and hip sockets. Good. So go ahead and roll to your side. And unfortunately, we do have to come up for a little bit. We're going to come up to hands and knees and just do a little bit of cat-cow before our next pose. Okay. So let's stay with the breath as we're moving through this transition. Inhaling, chest forward. Exhaling, drawing belly and chin in. Nice and slow, please. No rush. All right. So we're going to come into pigeon for this next pose. And I'm going to start with my left side so you can see it pretty good. So bring that left knee all the way up to the outside edge of your mat. And you can pull this left foot up into 90 degrees or keep it close to the inner groin. Now, for those of you who are really tight today, you can place a blanket underneath this left butt here if you need to keep yourself nice and balanced. I'm going to place a blanket out in front of me so I can rest my elbows on it. So trying to bring the right hip down so the hips are equal if possible, right? So that sometimes that's where we feel that left hip support would come in helpful. So as we extend that right leg back as far as possible, we feel the right hip come forward. Some of you may want to go further and you can just extend the arms and bring the head to the mat. So where is your pose today? Good, let's sit with it and breathe together. Be very mindful as we come out of this pose. We can just work our way back to hands and knees and a little bit of the cat-cow before we go to the other side. And pay attention to the body. So when yin, the exiting the pose, being very mindful, listening to the body, how it feels as you exit the pose is also really important. All right, when you're ready, let's do the other side, bringing that right knee up to the edge of our mat. Deciding how deep we want to go with this foot. Does it feel tighter on this side? Maybe the foot comes a little closer to the inner groin. Good. So take your time. Wiggle in there, right? Make it a little bit uncomfortable so that your body feels the effects of the deep work. Beautiful. Check in with your hips. Do we need a little support underneath our right side? Or are we doing pretty good? Maybe we're open enough now to bring our head all the way to the mat. Be very conscious of the breath. I lost you guys for a while. My Zoom went completely out, so hopefully you're still hanging around with me. All right. All right, beautiful. As you come on out, go ahead and come onto hands and knees and do a little bit of cat-cow. While I get this reset up here. You guys just disappeared on me. All right. So let's come into child's pose for just a minute or so. I'm just going to place my hands underneath my forehead, my knees nice and wide. So my head is resting on something, and just breathe. Maybe you can feel a little weight on your low back. And just soften in here for a few little breaths. And I know we can stay in child's pose for a long time, but I want to do one more pose just so we can open up the upper back and shoulders just a little bit. So I'm going to take my blanket and just roll it up really tight. If you don't have a blanket, you can roll up your mat too. It works exactly the same way, making it into a nice tube. So I'm going to place it right here on the base of my shoulder blades. Okay, so right at the shoulder blades end, that's where the blanket is going to go. So when I lay down, my shoulders and my head are off the blanket, of course, and on the mat. So if your head is not on the mat, put something underneath it so the head rests comfortably, shoulders rest comfortably. And there should be a little bit of a pressure right at the base of the shoulder blades where that beautiful blanket or mat is hanging out. Now today I'm just going to keep my legs stretched out. We've done enough work with the legs, so I feel like we don't need to keep working there. So I'm just going to stretch out the legs. Put a blanket on if you have another one. And you can decide on the arms. Maybe a T position feels good for you. Maybe a cactus arms feels good. You could even take the arms over the head if that feels better. So, what feels good to you? So, let's take that breath up into the upper lungs now so that each inhale, we feel this beautiful expansion of the upper lungs, maybe even bringing the breath all the way up into the way upper lungs up here in the underneath the collarbones. So this pose will be really breath focused. I'm even doing a little bit of Ujjayi breath today because I want that clearing out of this upper lungs. And be very gentle with yourself as we move into Shavasana today. So you can take that blanket out from underneath your shoulders so that your back rests on the mat. And it looks like you're already kind of comfortable with a blanket over you. So let's stay in a nice little burrito, just wrapping ourselves up in that blanket as we lie down on our backs and just feel the comfort of the earth today. Just feel that beautiful connection, right? This beautiful connection. So I invite you as you get really comfortable in this final pose today, to do just 3 rounds of square breath. So remember, we're inhaling to the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 4, inhaling to the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 4, pausing, and just make that beautiful square breath, maybe 3 times. Now, if you'd like to just stay here, you're welcome to. There's no need for movement if you are comfortable. But if you're ready to rejoin your evening, just begin to feel a little movement in our feet, toes, and hands and fingers. And we'll draw our knees in towards our chest. And let's take this next minute on our side. You can use your arm to support your head. Today's poem is called What the Body Says by Mary Oliver. I was born here and I belong here and I will never leave. The blue heron's gray smoke will flow over me for years, and the wind will decide all directions until I am safely and entirely something else. I am thinking of this on this winter morning as I sit by the fire, and the fire in its red rack keeps singing its crackling song of transformation. Of course, I wonder about the mystery that is surely up there in starry space, and how some part of me will go there at last. But I am talking now of the way the body speaks and the wind that keeps saying, firmly, lovingly, it'll be a little while, and then this body will be stone, and then it will be water, and then it will be air. I was born here. I belong here, and I will never leave. If you feel ready, please come up to where we began in a seated posture. Our hands at our heart, our head bowed. Gratitude for just showing up on our mats today. Let us chant a final Om together. Deep breath in. Namaste.